Word. And he was like, all I got to do is just just do it. You know what I mean? Like Nike said, just do it. Don't sit there. He said you gonna be working for the person you should have been hiring.
Yo, that's crazy, dog. Cause like that's one thing I had learned like in the military, like just looking at all of the people that I was working for, and
Yeah.
it was just mind-boggling to me that I had to work for this man.
Um.
Like, you know what I'm saying? They had like half of the ability, but because I didn't like go forward to try to do the stuff that I was supposed to do to get the jobs, I
Um.
didn't get that until like I ended up having like my own little section and having to do like my own little stuff. But
That'd be the crazy part. It's always this other person working for the boss
yeah,
that be knowing more than the boss,
yeah, but it's
but
still
they working.
it's still kind of like their fault though, man. Because like
Yeah.
there's certain criterias to get certain jobs, and if you want to be the person to get that job, you have to do that thing. You have to meet those criterias. Your ability at that point doesn't matter because just because you have the ability to do the job, but like, do you have like the characteristics of the
Of a leader.
person that it takes to lead that jump? That's what I'm
Facts.
saying. You know what I
That's
mean? So
facts.
like that's especially within the field that we do, man. That jank is so sad, man. We have so many talented and dope musicians that probably sadly will never reach like a high level at what they want to because they just want to be dope at like that thing. Like the
Mm.
bread ain't in just being a musician. The bread ain't in just being an artist. You have to like be a boss of some sort. You gotta
Yeah.
like actually run it because like I was no shade at all. I have so much respect for this person. I was rapping about when I met Donnie McClurkin and we was talking, and one thing that he was telling me was that like, you know what I mean, you don't have to worry about, you know, the sound scans, you don't have to worry about like, you know, pushing the music out to people. And I was just like, we doing two different things. I'm independent. So
Mm.
like while you were signed to a label that
Yeah.
had people who had their livelihood, like their family ate because they push your sound skin. Their family ate because they marketed your music, your
Facts.
brand. They told you where to be, or you know what I mean. All of these good insights on stuff. So like, it's just crazy that like you know what I mean. You really just want people to hear your stuff. You just want folks to enjoy it. You just enjoy music. You just want to create it, but you will. You know what I mean? Since that's what you're working for, you're gonna get that. You're gonna get people who enjoy your music. You're gonna get people like, dang, he could play. Dang, they could sing. You know what I'm saying? But like, that's what you're gonna get. And then like the 150, the two, the sometimes if you get with this stuff, you're gonna there's a different cap than when you like own the jank. You know what I'm saying? Or own portions of it, and then have people that you've hired to push your stuff out there and to do this and to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, facts. That leadership, that's definitely a quality, man. I was thinking about it even with cause I be looking at kind of life and the business as a game,
Mm-hmm.
and so I compare it to like sports, and then you look at the dope athletes. They had to be great leaders. They had to become great leaders because at the end of the day, it's a team sport. So it's not just about you, specifically getting all the points and doing all this. You got to make everyone around you better. So you got to make your team win a championship. So like with Jordan, I feel like that was a quality that made him great because he was able to take the team, which was already a decent team,
Mm-hmm.
but he elevated them niggas. It was like, nah, we working this hard, god dang it. And they even talked about it how was he used to go hard on niggas in practice. So I mean, like that same level application, I think, cross over to the music, where if you really want to be, that boss, you got to be able to work as a team and make your team better at the same time. Like,
Yeah, man, like that team aspect of it, you definitely have to have, and it's just that's the skill to learn. It's
yeah,
how to
facts.
not even make, but to encourage folks to support the vision that you're talking about, like at
Hmm.
one time. Like
Yeah.
that's the one thing I really, really, really hope that I'm gonna be able to learn to master during like this process with the championship movement. Like it's just to encourage folks to see what I'm seeing and to see that like what I'm seeing is for the betterment of everybody around me, but I'm also trying to win. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying?
As you're supposed to.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because like beforehand, man, what I did was I gave my sound away, I gave my vibe away,
Ah,
and I still, cause me in my heart, I want everyone to win, every single person. If you're looking, if you're not looking, I want everyone to win the best way they know how. Like my friends
facts.
will tell you, bro. Like if you round me, dog, there is no way that you're going to be whack, bro. That's
Word.
impossible, cause like everything that we do, we're gonna have to go hard at it. Like my friends that sing, like bro, every time you hang out with me, it's like choir rehearsal because you're going to sing the notes right. Because my nerves is bad if you don't do it. Like that's what we do for a living. How you gonna be just, you know what I'm saying? Unless you just,
Facts.
you know what I mean, just doing it just to be doing it. But like, yeah, man.
Facts. It's good when you have somebody else too though that and that's what I've been working on, you know what I mean, personally. Cause like me and Mac be grinding together, you know what I mean, and he like a energy tank, like, you know what I mean. So I be tired, bro. Like one day I be like, yeah, I'm going, you know what I'm saying. I have burst of energy instead of having it be just like, shh. So I've been working on getting that consistent. But I notice with me, like if it's like I'm a crunch time player, so when all this everything start to go wrong and this, you know, stuff start getting crazy, that's when I actually perform my at my best.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's what it's good when you have somebody else bringing you up.
Yeah, cause within that, man, cause like that's definitely my thing. Well, it was my thing as far as like I never practiced. I never like really did stuff. I made sure like it was in my heart and all that kind of stuff. But I got stuck at like a level because like preparation gives you like a foundation that you can't like get
Facts.
anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like when you walk in the room, everything's just ready, your mind's clear, you're able just to go hard. But now
Facts.
you're in there, you're scrambling. If you're not ready, you're scrambling. You don't know what you're about to do next because you don't know. You didn't put it
Yeah.
together. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what people gonna get. People still get with the vibe, but like there is a level that we were good, but like there was a level that we missed. If
Yeah.
if if, if we were just like ready already.
Facts.
You know what I'm
Who we talking
saying?
about? Practice?
Yeah, bro. Like, and that is something else. And like, and I don't want you to practice like when we supposed to be rehearsing. Like,
Touche.
you know what I'm saying? That's the
Touche.
reason why, like, for me, I like to have stuff like, cause the way how I learn stuff, man. I sit down and I just go at that joint and go at that joint. Like, I need to be able to do that. So once I get there, we can manipulate it however you want because I have all of the foundation, bro. I swear, I learned the voice parts and I chart them out. I learned the piano parts
Oh
and chart
wow.
them out. I learned the bass jump because I want whenever we about to do the jump that it's about to be like perfect. And then now it's perfect, and then you want to add something to it. Now it's perfect and sweet. Like, look at that. Now
Sound
that's,
like
you know.
Denzel and that movie. Remember the Titan. Perfection, gentlemen. That's what I require.
That's what I require.
Facts though.
He like, what's fatigues? Army clothes. That's probably, is that the same movie?
Yep.
Mm.
Yep. That practice jank there.
I didn't know if
That's
that was that on radio. I
that's
ain't.
deep though. They said Charlie Parker practiced like 12 hours, 14 hours, excuse me, a day.
Bro, and then like I think at some seasons of your life that's necessary. Like because
Mm,
like with a sound, man, when you're embodying a sound, when you're embodying like a culture within yourself, you have to become that thing. You can't do it when you're doing it a little bit and you're doing everything else. You know what I'm saying? It's
facts.
like you're not really teaching your body how to move that way now. You know what I'm saying? Because like one thing I was very appreciative of is like when I did that Berkeley thing when I did for my degree for piano in Berkeley, like that
Oh
changed
word.
the entire way on how I looked at music, the entire way how I practice because like you can't just do it a little bit, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they throw stuff in there that they know for certain that the only way you're gonna get this is if you practice it. The only way you're gonna get this is if you practice it.
The
Because
setup.
every note has to be because it's not like you just shedding. You can't just shed. Nah, you gotta read this, and you got and like I learned because one thing that I never understood with as far as music, I didn't know what people heard, how they knew to do that kind of stuff, like where it fit. So now that like to see that they give you a song that have all of these things and all these changes, I've wanted to learn how to play my whole life, but they know it within theory and on how to read every single note, every single rhythm that I'm supposed to be doing. So like if I change that, I don't have the liberty to just play what I want. I have to play that.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I have to. That becomes now a foundation because every time you get to this line, you have to do this movement. You have to do it with this dynamic. You know what I'm saying? You got to add this trill in here, and some stuff you have liberties, but you have to learn how to do this. Now, okay, now do it on your own. Now you can add stuff to it. Now you can be creative, but like you still need to have like the foundation. And now when I hear it, I can. Oh shoot, that's just a that. You know what I'm saying? That's just a this, and it becomes a little bit more simple because I sat down and I practiced like
Discipline.
over and over and over again, and now it becomes like the norm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the discipline, man. It's weird though, cause like you know, going off the state, it's like a lot of stuff they told you. Like you see what I'm saying? Like there was,
Yeah.
I remember being in band practice, and they're like, "Don't be trying to practice in the rehearsal. You practice on your own. This is rehearsal." You know what I mean? But then you start gigging on your own, and all your a lot of times people discipline go out the way. You know what I mean? Now they just be like, "Oh yeah, we got a gig. Now we be alright. We just, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna fill it out. We come in there and fill it out. We be alright." And then you know what I'm saying, me, I'd be the person like, "Nah, bro. You gotta bring up." What would Miss Sanders say if we should cuss us out?
What you mean?
Nah, cause like, you know, when you in school, you gotta obey, you know, the rules and everything. So they'll be
Yeah.
like, they're gonna have mandated rehearsals, mandated practice times. So you don't do that. Like wait till the last minute and just go up there and play something. But then you start getting your own gigs. Like
Oh yeah.
other musicians, we get together and we got our own gigs, and then you gonna try to like slub this one up. So I'll be like, "Nah." What would Miss Sanders? She used to be like, "Oh nah." Then you know what I mean, that thing used to be funny, bro.
Yeah, bro. I would agree. Norfolk State did change my life a whole way, bro. And then the fact that I had Carl Haywood and Terry Butler, bro, like that I had to work side
Oh,
by
yeah.
side with for a long time, bro. Like there
You gonna be disciplined.
there is no room for a mistake. If you're making a mistake, G, that means you don't know it.
Facts.
And people get mad at me and they be like, "Nah, I do know it." There is no way that you know it and you messed up. Like there's no. I mean, I'm pretty sure that you have done it properly before,
Yeah.
or something like that. But there's no way that you like know it.
It's not about doing it one time.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
be able to, and that comes from sitting down and practicing that joint. You know what I'm saying? Really getting it down, and I'm very appreciative of that.
It's funny
'cause,
we
like,
got talking about practice.
Nah, I mean,
Um,
because
we-
it's real. I mean, we
it
musicians,
is
bro.
real.
Like, cause like and that's what I tell people when I like as far as like with my life, like I have to sit down and literally practice this stuff because if I don't practice it, I am not the person that people pay for to perform. You know what I mean? People pay me, or yeah, they pay me like because of consistency, because of professionalism.
Yeah.
When I get there, they don't have a bunch of questions. They know if I show up that I already know. Well, if they give me the music,
Facts.
like you know what I'm saying, that like I already know it, and if they need help with the voice parts, there is no way that they're gonna get up there and sound crazy because I know all of their parts, and I'm going because I sat down and I practiced it. You know what I'm saying? So like as far as being a musician, like I mean, you don't. There's people who are just dope by just being that, but if you put them in certain sectors, they're gonna fail. They're gonna fail because like you can't put them on Jay Leno and they just shed through the whole chain. Like,
Facts.
there's no way because we have transitions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know this transition, and once we get here, like yeah, if we'd have did it again, you probably would have got it, but you supposed to already know it when you got here.
What's funny is that's actually where I am. I think in my growth, as far as as a saxophonist. Like I had a good ear naturally from playing in church and everything. So my instructor was like, "You rely on your ear a lot too much, and you don't really know the changes." And like in my mind, I'm like, "Yeah, I just be feeling it." You know what I'm saying? It's just feeling it, but. feeling is one thing, but imagine how good you would be if you
Knew it.
knew the changes along with that.
Hmm.
So now you like, boom, I know where I'm going. I know where it's going to end at. I ain't confused because it'd be that one part you don't sound right on. You know what I mean? In that feeling. So that's actually where I'm at now is learning like how to really learn the changes because as a soloist you kind of just can hide. A piano
Yeah.
player you gotta know the changes, but as a soloist you can be like, yeah, I got it. C minor, then okay, C minor, but this.
Yeah, man. That's as since because I've never like really been the keyboard player for a while. Like when I was in Norfolk State, that's like other than a couple of the churches I played for, but I be really hating on everybody because like they be like, yeah, bro, just go to this right here. I'm like, bro, this is literally a song, and if you can do whatever you want, nigga. Like if the guy on the keys is not playing the song, bro, like
Facts.
it's a rap.
Facts.
It's a rap because now what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you
Yeah,
gonna
that
play?
rhythm
Like what you
section
playing
is
on top of?
essential, man.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. But still they can shift it however they want to. They can shift the vibe. But like if like the foundational, like the sound, the structure, everything else, everything during the music stuff is important. But like if the person that's carrying the choir of the joint is not on point, bro, it's like going downhill.
Mm.
It's
So
going
let me
downhill.
ask you this, bro. How do you structure your practice?
Um, I just always do it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's different depending on what it is that I have to do. If I'm practicing for like Sunday, I get the music probably like around Tuesday or something like that, and I just make sure that like number one I know it, and then like I just continue to do it, or I just find stuff that I don't know, and I want every day to kind of learn something that I don't know. But I'm
Got you.
still like
Okay.
in my novice stage because like I never knew anything that I was doing. I was just throwing my hands down there, and I didn't really know how to play keys because I was more so like a singer and a choir
Mm.
director. But I didn't want to depend on. I didn't want to depend on the musicians. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people, they don't show up, they don't learn the music, they're not able to work like with you. So I just started picking the joint up. But like I said, when I started like going to school for the joint, I'm like, I guess I gotta be the keyboard player now. She
Facts.
Yeah, so it's just always practicing, trying to learn something, trying to continue to develop everything. I don't know what I'm gonna be like in like 10 years and everything like that, because I'm just now hearing like all of the cool stuff that y'all get to do, all of the off notes and all of that stuff. Because I'm from South Carolina, Jack. You gotta just play the sound of
Yeah.
the area. You gotta play the sound of the area, create your own little thing. But people gonna look at you funny. You add something in there like, oh, he nice, but he be trying to play that jazz. This is
Trying
church.
to play that shit.
Got that blues in there.
Nah, facts though. Yeah. Then my grandma, she used to come up and be like, "What you playing? What you playing?" But I'm like, "Grandma, jazz is from the church, really." Like,
Yeah, I
at
mean,
the end of the day.
gospel came from jazz, but like, yeah, but like for them, because that was considered like the time of establishment of the church, so like that became like the sound, and for that like that generation, and then for like their kids to come in and like throw something else in there, you know what I'm saying?
Uh,
This is already church, and like you can't tell me this church, boy. I taught you church, and like now you gonna come with that blues and that jazz, and now you gonna
uh-huh.
try to tell me that this is church, and then like you get what's the family? Is it the Winans I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, then the Winans come out and they do the old Happy Day Jane.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like now they didn't add the funk in there. Now y'all adding disco and gospel music. That ain't gospel. And then you come around with John P. Key that's throwing the
John P.
quartet,
Key.
and then like the just the urban feel to it.
Yeah.
And then you get Kirk Franklin. Lord, when you get Kirk Franklin, like the church goes array. It's like and now you got bass and you got
Facts.
all of this and that. You know what I'm saying? Then you get the Ty Tribbett that come out that like switch the game like all the way again, and it's like I mean, it's never considered the sound that they remember hearing because it became solidified. Like we the church now, we the black church. Like this is what we sound like, and then people try to add more stuff to it.
Uh, it's funny though because I feel like I used to always think like with gospel, it's just that one. It's the one genre that kind of just uses the subject matter as the defining thing for the genre.
I mean, it
Now
has to
it's a
be though.
sound too.
I mean, it is, but like, I mean, the message has to still be, you know, God, Jesus.
But that's what I'm saying. Like if you say like with rap, it's things people say in rap, but they can say whatever they want to say. If you
Mhm.
think say like R&B, same kind of thing.
Mhm.
But then you get the gospel, and it's just like all these different ways and sounds and all of that. But it's defined by music about God and religious. So I'm like,
Religious.
cause who was I think it was Lecrae. He was like he didn't want to be a gospel artist or defined as a gospel artist because if you put once you put gospel on it, it's almost like you put it in a box. Because I really can say anything I want to say.
It's true.
I guess if you wanted to call it gospel off of the sound, it would be just that old organ spiritual sound. You know what I mean? It is a sound to it
Mhm.
as well. Where even if a song wasn't called gospel and you heard this song, you would say, "Is that gospel?" Because of how it sounds.
I mean, every genre has that though. The same thing when it came to like rap, hip hop, crunk, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm understanding it a little bit more now with what it was saying because I think it was like the subject matter on what like the people like KRS One and stuff was talking about, and they defined that like it's hip hop, you know, like this is hip hop, and
Okay.
it's like it's the same thing within other
The struggle.
organizations and stuff like that. That people come into a thing and be like, all right, y'all, I'm changing this. You know, like nah, G, why don't you like create your own thing, create a wave, then instead of coming into my wave and trying to
Mm.
change it up. Like, yeah, things have to evolve, or you can just allow that thing to evolve and it just evolves with the thing. But I ain't never been the one to try to. I do understand that if you wanted to change something for the better, you have to get like inside of the thing to start going forward doing it. But like,
Mm.
I also think if it's not like working like that, G, start your own jank, and then like the people who's supposed to follow into that would do that. But like to try to come into something, be like, this is dope. Like everything you got going on is real dope. I now change this right here, and this is mine. Like nah, G, go do your own, and like create it to be the way how you see it, but don't take the platform or the history away of a certain, especially with the sound, because like then it becomes like a sound. You know what I mean? Like a thing you can create a contemporary gospel or you know what I'm saying, whatever you want to add to it to be your own thing. But some stuff, I guess, when it comes to that, as far as sound or genre based, it I guess it makes it like a little bit easier, so it's not as fluid. You know how you
Yeah.
got like Latin jazz,
I was just
straight
about to
ahead
say that.
jazz, you know what I mean, contemporary jazz.
But it's just the growth of the music though, cause like even with what I'm doing now with jazz, like I try to understand where we are in time. You know what I'm saying, and add that to it, like, cause a lot of people say, "Oh, your jazz sound different than other people's jazz," or cause some people say, "Well, the old jazz is boring to them," and it's making now some of it is kind of like, but I say all that to say, as the sound of the music grows and as time continues, I think it's just naturally going to happen. Like because even Miles Davis was talking about it. Because when the bebop first came out, the it was a whole beef. Louis Armstrong and them was like, we ain't with that bebop, and so it was like depth to bebop and everything. You know what I'm saying? They was like, nah, they just messing up the music. So then that became the standard, and then Miles Davis came out with the cool jazz. John Coltrane got the modal jazz, where it's just a feeling,
Hmm.
the tone. So I'm like, what happens is people just naturally elevate, and so as time continues, all these new subgenres are gonna keep coming out
I mean,
because
that's how jazz came out anyway. You know what I'm saying? When them
touche.
cats just got together from different areas, and I think it was like in New Orleans, and just started taking all of the classical stuff that they knew and just putting it in with some of the ragtime stuff that was going on in the area and the blues stuff that was going on in the area and making it like the gumbo of all music. That's what jazz
It was already a
They-
melting pot, is what you're
yeah,
saying.
that's a whole. That was the reason for
That's
it. They were just
fire.
like, why don't we just take all of these concepts because it was different musicians getting together, shedding. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh shoot, y'all do that, well, that kind of works with this type of stuff that I do. Let me go ahead and add this type of line to it. You know what I mean? And then you have to call it or something. But like, if that's what it is, and then you're like, I like what that is. Well, why can't that be this jazz, or this gospel, or this rock? Because I mean, only for as far as just to be able to identify it. You know what I mean? To identify as part of something. If you want to be like unidentified jazz, you know what I'm saying? Something so
There it
people
is,
kinda,
unidentified jazz.
just so people to know what they're getting themselves, because that's what it's for. Like as far as labeling it and what people want to purchase or what they want to listen to, like so they'll know what they're getting themselves into. If you don't know, I don't know jazz. You know what I mean? It's something.
Yeah, I mean, it's to the point now. I think it's just jazz fusion. Jazz fusion, excuse me, is like really the standard to me. Like if you're really getting into what people are really digesting, and it still has that. I feel like with jazz, the base of it to me is the improvisation and like communicating in that way in the improvisation, and it's about, like you say, the melting pot. So what it is now is not just the the swing field. It's all these different fields. It's rock in there. It's like reggae and some of them. There's one girl, she just dropped a jank, Nubia Garcia, I think. It's a female saxophonist, but her jank is dope. It got a lot of reggae.
You say Nubia Garcia?
Yeah, it's a weird spelling. I'm probably saying her name wrong. don't
Please
don't be
don't
mad at me if I'm saying it wrong.
Please don't say her name wrong.
This jank fire though. NUB.